Hi, Reeses and Kit Kats. All right, everybody should have a sheet that says Tuesday, October 28th, writing and identifying expressions. Before we get started, I just want to quickly go over our vocabulary that we also did yesterday. First, product means multiplication. Quotient means division. Sum means addition. And difference means subtraction. Sorry, I keep moving the chair around. I'm trying to focus the screen on this space right here. All right, so product, multiplication, quotient, division, sum, addition, difference, subtraction. Make sure you really nail those vocabulary words in your head. Now let's look at number 1. So when I was looking over your papers, also a lot of them were really fantastic work, but when I was looking over your papers, I noticed that people were doing something really clever. When they saw one of those 4 words at the top, they were putting parentheses around them, right? So they were grouping those together because product, sum, quotient, difference, those mean an answer, right? Product is the answer to a multiplication expression. So you need to group those together as an answer. I'll tell you a little bit more what I mean when I go through this, but I think this is a really great strategy that will help us get better at these type of problems. So for letter A, write an expression for the product of a number and 10. So I see the word product, that means parentheses. Before I even get started, I'm going to put parentheses around it. And it's asking for the product of a number and 10. That means a number times 10. So that's all I need. This is the same as doing 10n. Because if we have multiplication, we can flip the numbers around. Now let's move on to B. B is asking for 3 more than the product of a number and 10. So I have this 10n. I need to add 3 to that, but I need to make sure that what I have is still in parentheses because this stays together. This is the product, so it's 1 unit now. So 3 more than the product of a number and 10. Now let's look at C. C, I actually have wrong on the paper, so I want you guys to pause the video and write this down instead. This is the new problem C. 5 less than the product of a number and 10. So 5 less than the product of a number and 10. All right, now let's go back over here. So we know it says 5 less than the product. Product, bing, that means parentheses, right? Because it's asking for an answer. So I'm going to group that together. So it's 10n again, same as B down here. But it's asking for 5 less than. 5 less than means we're taking 5 away. So the 5 goes at the end. This is 5 less than the product of a number and 10. Okay, copy this down under number 1, then we're going to move on to number 2. Okay, before we go to number 2, you need to do 2 really quick things. First, for number 2, cross off where it says choose 2 correct answers. We're just going to choose 1 correct answer. So cross off where it says choose 2 correct answers. Just write 1 right there. There's only 1 correct answer. For number 4, there are 2, so find the 2 of them. For this one, there's just 1. Now, this is a little different. Instead of having an expression or a verbal description and writing the expression, we have an expression and need to match it with the verbal description. So what I want you to do is pause this video, try and figure it out on your own, and then I'm going to tell you what the correct answer is and why it's the correct answer. All right, go ahead, give it a shot. Okay, I'm trusting that you've paused the video by now. So let's look at it together. So 16 minus 2n. First, I know that this is the same thing as writing the product, right? This is the product of 2 and n. So these need to be grouped together. So I'm going to add my parentheses because now whenever we know it's a product, group them together. All right. So if I had gone through this, I would have looked at what it was asking for. So I would have looked at what it said after product. I knew it was the product of 2 and a number, so A doesn't make sense. It's not the product of 16 and 2. B, I see 2 and a number, but it's 16 less than, so that doesn't make sense. But now let's look at letter E. So letter E says twice a number subtracted from 16. First, it's really important that we know this. Twice means times 2. Twice is the same as times 2. So twice a number n. So that's 2 times a number n subtracted from 16. That means the true n is being taken away from the 16. So then I would put my 16 up here, and this matches our expression. So the correct answer is E. Okay, now let's look at number 3. I'm sorry I'm flying through these, but I want to make sure that I can go over 3 problems with you because some of these are tricky. For number 3, 7 times the difference of 12 and a number. So the first thing I do before anything else, I see that word difference. That means that I'm going to put parentheses. What's the difference of 12 and a number? So I've set this aside already, right? But I still want 7 times this. So I have the difference between 12 and a number. All I need to do is multiply it by 7. So again, we saw that word difference. We put the 12 minus n in parentheses because it needs to stay together as one unit. We can't split up that 12 minus n because together it makes the difference. Okay, this parentheses strategy is just an extra way to really make sure we're being completely accurate with all of them. If you were doing well yesterday, you got all your problems correct, you feel like you're really comfortable with your own strategy, go ahead and ignore this and just finish up the worksheet doing it however works best for you. However, putting parentheses when you see one of these words at the top, I think will really get us to the next level with these problems. So go ahead and finish up 4, and then it says 4, 5, and 6 on the back. It should be 5, 6, and 7. And then check your answers. Again, I didn't provide answers for 2 of them because I really want to use those 2 to check where you guys all are and how you're doing with these. Okay, so go ahead and get started. Good luck. And just one last thing, remember that if you complete it, it's +5 on your paycheck. Almost everybody in the whole 6th grade completed it last time, but if you don't complete it, it is going to be a lunch detention, all right? So make sure you're really getting these worksheets done, trying your best. It's going to help us out so much on our benchmark, and I know you guys can do great. Good luck.